Welcome to In Her Voice. My name is Kelly Covert, and I am passionate about helping women live authentically by listening to their inner voice. Get ready to be inspired by women of all walks of life that have set aside their should-bes and not good enoughs and are standing in their true voice, the voice of wisdom that each and every one of us has inside. Hey there, you guys. This is Kelly Covert, and you are listening to episode 37 of In Her Voice. I am an inner voice coach, and I am here today to talk with you about self-acceptance. So if you listen to this podcast a lot, and I hope you do, and I'm so thankful that you do, you know that I am a huge proponent of self-love, self-care, taking care of yourself, loving yourself where you are. But I had a conversation the other day with someone that I know, and it really sort of struck me as this is something that I need to talk about. And what it was she said, Kelly, you're so confident and you're so good at loving yourself, and I just don't feel like I'm there yet. I look in the mirror and I see my big stomach and I see, all of the things that I want to change, and I'm not to that place where I can fully love myself and be confident in that just yet. And what it made me think of was this idea that there is a step that maybe we don't always talk about that comes before full self-love, that comes before that place of being like, heck yeah, I'm awesome. Because you know what? I wasn't always like that. This is something that I've been working on. And so as I really sat with it, I realized that there is a step before that, and it is self-acceptance. Just really coming to terms with where you are now and not having any judgment in that, not feeling like it's good or bad. Just saying, this is where I am, and I accept that, and I take responsibility for that, and it's okay. As I sat with it, it really made me think of my relationship with my son. I've talked to you guys before on the podcast about my oldest son who is on the spectrum, and how in life he has been one of my greatest teachers in understanding who I am. So in being his parent, I've realized the importance of accepting. And how it worked for me is that when he was first diagnosed, and for several years after that, I really just wanted him to be quote unquote normal. I wanted him to be typical. I didn't want him to have this struggle. I didn't want to have the struggle of having to parent a child who has special needs. And so everything that I did was sort of about trying to make him into, or transform him into, a quote unquote normal kid. I realized at one point that he is who he is. And that if I fully love him, I have to love him. I have to love him for all of the amazing qualities he has. And I have to love him for the challenges that he has and that he brings into my life. And I have to love myself in that same way, or I will not be able to fully accept and love my child the way I want to do that. We practice on ourselves, you guys. We do this first with ourselves, and then we extend it out to others. And I think as women, we sometimes get it flip-flopped, right? We feel like we're really good at accepting and loving and meeting people where they are, everyone else, but never for ourselves. But it's only until we really start to do that for ourselves that we can truly comprehend the depth and width and breadth of our true love that we can extend out to other people. And that's what my son taught me. He taught me in accepting him right where he was, even if it wasn't always pretty, even if it wasn't always easy, that I can accept myself right where I am. And so this process of self-acceptance begins our journey of self-love. We can't love ourselves if we don't accept ourselves. And it may seem, like 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and I get that, but I think that the distinction is important. So I kind of came up with a few steps to work from that place of not feeling confident or of finding all of these things wrong with yourself to move into self-acceptance. So step number 1, stop beating yourself up all of the time. Like, really. If all you're doing is criticizing yourself, if all you're doing is bringing attention to all of the things about yourself that you don't like or that you want to change, you're not in acceptance of that. And listen, this doesn't mean that we can't want to change, but we must accept where we are first. We must say, this is where I am. I played a role in getting to this place where I am. And I take full responsibility, and now I accept it, and I'm moving on. I'm going to grow. I'm going to evolve. Does that make sense? So stop beating yourself up all of the time. And then step 2, I want you to replace all of that negative self-talk, I can't stand the way I look today, or my hair looks so bad, or I can't believe I said that stupid thing. Replace all of that negative self-talk with neutral self-talk. So maybe you're not ready to be like, hey, look at me, I'm amazing. I'm freaking awesome. And I know you're going to love me because I love myself. Maybe you're not ready for that. Guess what? That's okay. So move from your negative self-talk, replace that with neutral self-talk. And what neutral self-talk sounds like is, this is where I am today. Oh, hey there. This is where I am today. Or I accept my body today right where it is. So you see how that's neutral, right? That's not requiring us to believe something that we don't believe yet. But it's going to start to take us away from that place of self-loathing and of beating ourselves up all of the time. And then I think once we get to the place where we're in neutral self-talk and we can just sort of say, this is where I am now, and I see that and I accept it, then we can start to move to gratitude for where we are right now. So looking in the mirror and saying, oh my gosh, look at those big, strong legs that I can get up on every day and run and walk and go to the gym and pick up my kids and chase after my dog because she runs away a lot. And be in gratitude for that. Be in gratitude for yourself, for what you can do, for the qualities that you're bringing each day into this world. Be grateful, because when we're living in gratitude and appreciation for who we are, for our bodies, for what our bodies are doing for us, it is just really a teeny tiny jump over to that self-love. So you begin to see the process, right? Stop beating yourself up all the time. Replace that negative self-talk with neutral self-talk. And then move into gratitude for where you are right now in this moment. And then that's going to take you to that place where self-love feels more real, where you don't feel like you're making it up or putting on a show, where you're really believing that you love your body where it is and that you appreciate all of the things that you're bringing into this world. So we start to build our confidence in ourselves through this practice, through these steps. And we practice those steps over and over and over again. And then that takes us to self-love. And trust me, you guys, when you are in a place of self-love, it feels so good. It's like a permission slip to be exactly who you are. I'm not worried about fitting in or belonging. You know why? Because I know that I am accepted. I know that I accept myself. And that's what I need. And I can feel confident going into any situation and being who I am and knowing that if people don't like that, you know what? I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I accept and love who I am. I don't need that from other people because I can give it to myself. And that is a wonderful, uplifting, empowering place to be when I can just walk in a room and say, I'm going to be me. And let me be honest with you guys. I've been practicing this for a long time. And yes, there are still situations and circumstances where I find myself having those feelings of not being confident, of not feeling like I'm fitting in, of not feeling like I'm belonging. That's life. That's natural. And those are going to come up. And every time they come up, I use it as an opportunity to practice again, to accept myself again, to love myself right where I am again. And so it's just another opportunity for me to grow into a place of fully loving who I am. And for those of you who have kids or even fur babies, you know what this is like, right? Your kids can do something horrible and make you so angry, yet you still love them. You still love them. Why? Because you accept them for who they are. So what I'm asking you to do is to love yourself in that way. Give yourself that same love that you're willing to give out to other people. And when you do, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to start to walk with confidence. You're going to start to know what you're bringing to this world, right? Doesn't that sound really, really great? And the cool thing is when you start to build into this confidence, when you start to practice shifting your mindset to this place of self-acceptance and then into self-love, all of a sudden, the ideas that your inner voice is giving you feel more real. They feel more possible because you're in a place of believing in who you are and believing that you can do these amazing things because you're amazing. And so it leads us to this place of really feeling confident enough to start taking the action in our life that our soul is requiring us to do. And listen, we know it's requiring us to do that because we feel it. We feel it. We feel it when we're not doing it. We feel that disconnect and it doesn't feel good. It feels uncomfortable and you feel dissatisfaction. And so moving into that place of action is really what's going to then create the change that you seek. So you look at your body and you say, I accept you where you are. And let's make some changes so I can feel better in my own skin. I love myself enough to take the action to do this. Putting ideas into action, like I'm talking about now, that is what the inner circle is about. So if you listen to the last episode, you know I talked a little bit about my membership group that is opening up for registration on September 4th. So I am really excited to bring this to you guys. It's about using these kind of tools, talking about these kind of practices, connecting with your inner voice, and then taking action on the ideas and the inspiration that comes up from that. And what do we need to take action? Well, we need support. We need accountability. We need a community that's going to be a partner in believing with us. So that's what I'm creating with the inner circle. And I would love for you guys to join me there. So if this sounds like something you need, if you're ready to take these practices one step further, if you're really ready to hold yourself accountable and invest in you, I encourage you to head on over to kellycovert.com/inner circle. And if registration is open, then you can go ahead and sign right up. And if it's not open just yet, or if this is after the time period where it's open, you can put your name on the wait list. And that way I will notify you as soon as the doors open. Head on over there, kellycovert.com/inner circle. Put your name on the list or go ahead and sign up and get ready to put those ideas into action and really start loving yourself and believing in yourself and following through today. As always, I want to remind you that you matter. Your voice matters. What you're bringing to this world matters. Your gifts matter. And we need you showing up in this world, being confident in those gifts, knowing that you are freaking awesome. Don't forget it. You are worthy.